Hello. This video is going to be a little bit different for me because I'm not actually going to work out any mathematic examples. I'm just going to talk about some definitions and some examples of things that do and do not fit those definitions. So this is the first part of our introduction to probability of multiple events, and there are a few things that I want us to know. The first thing is what dependent events are. Events which affect each other. So that means in one way, shape, or form, one event depends on the other. For example, pulling two marbles from the same bag. So let's say we've got a bag of all sorts of types of marbles, but there's only one blue marble in this bag. If I pull two marbles from the bag, if I pull the blue marble first, that means it's not possible for me to pull the blue marble the second time. So these events actually will affect each other if I'm pulling two of them out of the bag. Independent events, however, are events which do not affect each other. They are the same probabilities independent of each other. So for example, flipping a coin and drawing a card from a deck. If I were to flip a coin and get heads, that is the same probability as getting tails. It doesn't matter what card I draw from the deck. If I draw a king of spades out of the deck, that doesn't make one of the options of flipping the coin any more or less likely to occur. So these two things will not affect each other, but in this example, we could have something affect the other. And then our other definition for today is mutually exclusive events. These are events that cannot happen at the same time. So this is actually something that you'll hear outside of a mathematic context. It's just something that occurs kind of in everyday life sometimes. Some of these are more obvious than others. So for one example of mutually exclusive things, again, kind of obvious, if a person is 6'7" and is also shorter than 5'10", those are two things that are mutually exclusive because they can't happen. If you know a person is 6'7", you know they cannot be shorter than 5'10". On the other hand, things that are not mutually exclusive, if a person is a teenager and if the person is old enough to legally drive. These can happen at the same time. Someone can be 17 and 17-year-olds can legally drive if they've passed all the tests they need to do. So it's possible to be a teenager and not old enough to drive. You could be 13 and not old enough, but these events are not mutually exclusive. One does not definitively tell you that another does or does not happen.